Welcome back to Mcoc AlBundyRules. I got top trios part 2 based on popular demand. Let me start with the first of the few trios I'll be doing. We're going to see and watch how they interact together. So I got Nick Fury, I have Captain Marvel movie, and I got Quake. A pretty well-known trio by a lot of people, a well-loved Trinity by a lot. However, not everyone knows this. So let's start off with Nick Fury on where we're going. He brings a lot to the table with his synergies, including 10% attack rating to all hero champions on the entire team during the quest, doubles to 20% if he is KO. All champs except Nick. First 3 hits thrown by the opponent have a 100% chance to be evaded, and that is with Quake. That's where Quake comes into this Trinity, which Quake is Quake already. But she allows everyone on the team to miss, to get 3 free evades, and all champions, if Nick is alive, have a Fury buffs, 20% increased duration, including his own. So increased Fury buffs everybody on the team. So Nick Fury is giving all these out, and here with this Captain Marvel synergy as well, each energy charge lasts 1 additional second for CMM. I'll show that in a bit, and his tactical charges last an additional 1 second. So especially if you're on your first life with Nick Fury, that synergy can be very, very helpful on keeping those tactical charges up, which can be kind of hard on his first life at times. So we have that good stuff. We see Nick Fury has a lot of the synergies. We saw what Quake brings, giving really 3 free misses pretty much for the entire team other than Fury. And we saw that extra those Fury boosts, those extra attack, all that good different stuff that comes out of here. So now we're going to be looking at a little bit of Nick Fury play and how some of this stuff works out for him, including his nice bleed. He is known as an amazing bleeder. He's known for his second life. He's known for being able to do unblockable hits in that second life. So I'm going to be giving a quick little bit of highlights and all that. If you're not really sure what I'm doing or how I'm using them, as what is pretty frequently with a lot of my videos, I do have a tutorial on him. So you'd want to go to my champ playlist tutorials, champ tutorial playlist, and you'll get to see quite a bit on how to use Nick Fury and how he works, and explain a little bit of what I do. So let's go to the second part of this Trinity, and let's take a look at CMM, or Captain Marvel movie. So she's another one. Her and Fury make an amazing duo, but add Quake in and they make a terrific trio. I mean, outstanding based on these extra bits. So here we see the first 3 hits. So she's not part of that synergy, but the synergy will rub off on her as we see those 3 free evades up there thanks to Quake and Fury. So her or anyone else on the team gets those 3 free evades during the fight, which could save a major issue along the way. We also see her energy charges last an additional 1 second while in binary ignition. This comes from Nick Fury. In fact, Captain Marvel movie is awesome. Great champ. I don't like using her without Nick Fury personally because it's hard to keep up the binary ignition. I feel like all you're doing. You see those 3 free evades go away right there. I purposely kind of let him come at me. We saw a little bit of slow-mo matrix kind of evade. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And that was courtesy of that cool little synergy as part of this Trinity. And also with Captain Marvel movie, if you're not really sure what I'm doing, how I'm getting the results, and which I am getting, again, I'm not showing you how to use them here. Just give a little bit of highlights, a little bit of play, a little bit of boom, boom, smack it like a daka going on. However, I do have the champ tutorial on her as well, similar to Nick Fury, in my champ tutorial playlist. You're going to want to check that out. See how to use her. Great champ. Okay, very, very cool. Can do quite a lot of stuff, especially when you use her duo or her Trinity. She's just straight fire. She just rock and rolls and smack and dabs them all over the dang place. She can finish fights quick, especially when you bring those ignitions, those binary ignitions into the next fight. If you finish your previous fight correctly, I mean, look at how I'm just completely like nothing. And now to wrap out this first Trinity, let's look at Quake. Quake is Quake, yeah. I mean, do you even got to say anything else? Quake just does what she does. She kind of quakes it out. So I'm going to show you a little bit of play on her. Most are pretty aware there's a ton of Quake play out there, but one thing you will get, the synergy she has with Fury gives those first 3 hits to be evaded. And a big thing on how we're going to be playing her is, of course, doing a little bit of, I'll show some Quake and Bake and some Quake and Shake going on here. I mean, avoiding those, holding that heavy. Also show a little bit of a Parry style too for different styles on how to use her, charging that up and getting that damage as we see that Juggernaut getting melted away, and she's just an amazing champ. And a little bit more going on here. We see this Red Goblin going flying on at it, doing a little bit of quakes. And here we go, charge it on up, and just a quick little bit of highlights. So we see all three of these champs are absolutely amazing champs. They're all amazing champs on their own. When you put the three together, I mean, that's one of the top trios in the game. I mean, they could do a little bit of everything between Furies, DOT, between Captain Marvel Movies Ignition, and between Quakes, Quake and Bake, or Quake and Shake. I mean, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Let's go to the next trio now, second one. Let's see what this trio makes so nice. So here we got the Colossus, Omega Red, and Saber Tooth. There's a few ones I could have gone here, but I decided I like this one. I'm going to start off with Colossus because he gets the massive damage. A lot of this comes from Omega. I showed him and Omega Red as a dynamic duo, but when you throw in Saber Tooth, you get quite a bit more. But with Omega Red, we get that 2% attack rating for each armor up buff and well-timed blocks granted armor up buff, max of the one stack. So you're able to get some massive attack rating with that synergy with Omega Red, and I'll show what Omega Red gets on that when I get to him as well. So bringing Omega Red in really gives him some massive attack damage. Sabretooth is really more for what he gets as well as what Omega Red gets. All Colossus really needs, though, is that Omega Red synergy, and he just gets some massive damage. You'll see little clips and highlights, especially when you get those crits going on. You're going to see some massive crits, especially on those heavies, especially when we build up those armor buffs. That Omega Red really lets you get those armor buffs going on, gives you extra attack damage for those armor ups, and it just makes him a mass. He's already a tank, but it just makes him a straight beast mode, doing some good little damage there. Got a 43,000 on that second hit of that heavy alone. So you crit on those heavies and you are just completely being total destruction mode. And of course we can get some pretty good dang damage with that S2 as well. Kind of baiting out Storm right here, trying to get something going, trying to get her to come to me, come on. There we go. Get that to the first hit to get the Fury, launch that S2, and down she goes. So let us go to Omega Red, the second part of this Trinity. His great damage. So he gained something from both individuals in this trio for his synergy teams. We're going to be seeing his damage, that DOT. You see those 27 up there right now. He gets 4% critical damage for each death spore on the opponent thanks to the Colossus synergy. So those death spores he's got going on, that's increased his damage, critical damage, thank you to Colossus. Makes him a lot more bang for his buck. But we're not done there with Omega Red now, because with Sabretooth, this synergy gives him 30% faster rate to inflict death spores and 30% longer rate for death spores to be removed. You apply them quicker and they stay there longer. So when you wrap this tree, Omega is already an insane beast, especially if you use Suicides, which I absolutely love, as most know. But you put in Colossus for that extra crit, and then you throw in Sabretooth for that increased duration of those spores, and Omega is just wow. I mean, I could sit here and keep telling you how amazing, but we're looking at what he is. These are normal fights. I'm taking all of these fights in this entire video come from a variety of different contents, from your EQ to story mode to ROL to LOL, a bit of everything, all right? Just to kind of show you where they go. So some different results, you can see how they could be played in a variety of ways. I do tend to have a preference to higher health pools when I'm doing these kind of videos, just because you can really see what they're doing a lot of the time. So you will see, things like ROL and LOL and these a lot, just to get those damage, especially when I'm trying to show some of the damage they could do. And someone like Omega Red and melting off that damage, you gotta see how much he's melting off of these health pools that effortlessly along the way. Now let's get into the third part of the second trio I've been discussing, and this is Sabretooth. Keep in mind, this Sabretooth is only in R3. I have so many mutants and I just duped him not too long ago. I haven't had a chance to rank him up yet. He will be a rank up soon. But he gets the synergy from Omega Red. 30% chance, basic claw attack, hits inflict bleed damage, dealing 40% of attack is direct damage over 4 seconds. So not only did he give Omega Red a really, really nice synergy, he gets one from that synergy as well. Gives him some nice little bit. If you wanted to throw in some extra coolness, you could always kind of throw in a Sasquatch, but that would be a quad, not a trio. So I'm not going to have Sasquatch in here, who does make Sabretooth a whole nother level. But that's extra tidbits. If I ever do a quad video, maybe you might see something like that. Or we see building up those theories on Sabretooth as he kind of ramps up a little bit and getting those damage going on. So you got to kind of ramp up his theories throughout a fight or two to where he can get some good damage going on. He's got that synergy. And again, this is only an R3 5-star. So if you're like, oh, that damage is good but not great, it's because he's an R3. You rank this guy up a little bit, you're going to see some whole lot more prettier shiny numbers going on. And not to mention he has some pretty nice utility. The regeneration, some immunity, all that good stuff. Resistance. Now let's go to the third trio. This is an OG trio, one of the first main dominant trios in Mcoc. So this is the Blade, this is the Stark Enhanced, Spider-Man, as well as the Ghost Rider trio. So I took a lot of heat for not putting this trio in part 1, and I have my reasons not to, but I couldn't do a part 2 and not put it in. So Danger Sense bonus is expanded to all villain champions. However, its ability accuracy reduction does not bypass the immunities. So Ghost Rider, you put in Ghost Rider with Blade, you have those Danger Sense now on all villains. You throw Starkey in here, you got a 45% potency for Danger Sense bonuses. So these two synergies, Blade is the one who benefits the most from this trio. Blade is amazing. People say he's outdated. No, he's not. They're just some of the newer content has kind of boxed him in a little bit, but if you use him and you use his synergies, he is still extremely relevant, extremely insanely good champ, and we see the regeneration going there on command. So we got the Danger Sense. If you want to expand him, another possible quad he could get into is if you throw somebody like Dorm into this, he could be expanded to his Danger Sense on Mystics too. Could be a niche as need be along the way, but we're seeing his damage, we're seeing his power gain, we're seeing the Danger Sense, the regeneration, the bleeds on command with the parries. Amazing, amazing champ, and that Trinity just makes him that much more amazing. So those people who try to say Blade is not as relevant as he was, he is still extremely relevant, but he does heavily benefit from his synergies. So let's get in the second part, Starkey. Starkey's someone people were kind of forgetting about for a while until his 6-star just recently got released. Now people are all on the Starkey bandwagon again. If you're not sure what I'm doing with these champs, again, I do have a champ tutorial on Blade. We just saw I also have a champ tutorial on Starkey, Stark Enhanced as well. So what he gets out of the synergy with Blade is a 45% potency for Danger Sense bonus. Oh, that was Blade. He starts the fight with 3 poise charges. So Stark Enhanced is able to get his damage up by getting those little blue enhanced thingies up there. He starts off with 3 with the synergy, so it gives his ramp up a little bit quicker ramp up. It's just 3 less stacks you have to do is really what it is to start the fight, because you want to get those charges up before you start doing the damage, because that's where he gets his damage from. So Starkey is straight damage. So this trio is amazing because Blade is a little bit of everything. I mean, he can just do a little bit of all kinds of stuff: damage, utility, regeneration, Danger Sense, all that good stuff. Starkey is just your straight up brawler, a bit of a glass cannon, but he will brawl him, he will smack him. He can also be really good against like difficult specials to evade, because he's good at evading those specials. He also does have some power control, not the greatest. He also has this nice S2, he also has taunt, so he does have some utility into his damage. Finally, let's wrap it up looking at Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, once upon a time, was one of the OG amazing. Oh, I want a Ghost Rider champ. His damage is what causes a little bit of less use in later endgame content, but through most content he is amazing, and his damage is more than relevant for most content. Higher health pulls a little bit harder, but his utility is amazing. With the synergy with Blade, he gets a 50% chance to place a judgment, meaning his judgment is how you use him, how you get his utility, how you build him up, but it's not always 100%. However, if you use this synergy with Blade, it is going to be 100%, so you don't have to worry about the judgments not working. It increases the reliability. And we will see he can get some pretty good damage going on there. He can get the power drain, he can get the fade seal, can get the regeneration, and depending on the order, again, I also have a champ tutorial on how to use them. Really, the order you do the rotation is going to determine on how much you can really get out of him between his Furies, his Fade Seals, his regeneration, and I rotate my rotations depending on the fight. I needed regeneration, so you see how long that regeneration's been up. I timed it like that because I needed it there. So I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my part 1 trios if you haven't seen it. Don't forget to check out my duo trios. Don't forget to check out my champ tutorial playlist. See how to use some of these champs I was using. All my other good content as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Mcoc AlBundyRules. Turn notifications on.